This is every Marvel and DC project releasing in 2025. It's going to be a pretty big, but possibly mid-year for superhero projects. So going in chronological order, let's run through the list. Starting in January, animation is the name of the game. We're getting the season finale of Creature Commandos this month, which so far has been a pretty fun show, I think. Slightly overhyped in my opinion. Not that it's bad in any way, I just think it's revolutionary. It's fun, it's funny, it's got great characters and great fight scenes, and it's definitely worth a watch. On January 16th, we're getting season 5 of Harley Quinn. Now look, I really like season 1 and season 2 of this show, but after 3 and 4, I'm kind of burnt out of this show, and I honestly think the writing had a really steep downturn. It's kind of corny now, it's not as funny, and honestly, I'm probably not even gonna watch this show. Then on January 25th, we have Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. We got the first trailer for this the other day, and again, I'm kind of skeptical. It's essentially an alternate timeline MCU show, showing a different version of the MCU Spider-Man origin. So with it, we're gonna see a lot of familiar MCU characters, but also some different ones like Norman Osborn. And there are a lot of cool concepts, like Norman is giving Peter his first official suit, and it's essentially the Future Foundation suit. And the animation's interesting because I know what they're going for. Frame by frame is a very comic book look, but in execution, I just think it looks kind of cheap. Then on February 14th, we get Captain America 4, baby. And it's interesting because the first couple trailers that released for this, I felt had just no heart or substance. I was that Homelander meme. Then at the end of the year, we got that really cool trailer that was very well edited. And I think it's an interesting case where you can tell they put a lot of effort into editing it, possibly because they don't have as much substance. And yeah, I know I'm being really judgmental. And I would love a great Sam Wilson Captain America movie. I think it's actually really important that we get one. Because whenever you have a new legacy character picking up the mantle, there is a whole lot of judgment and a whole lot of pressure. But with things like him, we have Red Hulk and the leader all being in the movie. There's a lot of really cool characters and really cool ideas that are at play. Like Tiamat Island is going to be a thing. Adamantium. So I'm excited to see what the final product is actually going to be. Then in March 4th, we got probably the best and one of the few projects on this list I'm actually really excited for. We got Daredevil Born Again. Because this was a show that was so bad at first that Kevin Feige saw it and was so appalled that he said, no, we are going and rebuilding this show. They delayed it a lot, reshot a lot, and there were a lot of big changes in these reshoots. For example, Karen and Foggy were gonna die off screen in episode 1, and now they're supposedly in the entire show. I am so excited to have the entire game back together. Daredevil's one of the best characters in the MCU right now, and they desperately need him. Then in May, we have Thunderbolts. I'm really excited for this. The trailers have been awesome. I love the dynamic between the entire cast. All the actors are so charismatic and so funny, and I think it looks genuinely great. And the behind the scenes report seemed to affirm this, saying the story is well written, that there's amazing action sequences, and that all the characters have time to shine. I did not think I'd ever be more excited for a Thunderbolts movie than a Captain America movie, but here we are. And then in July, we got the ultimate fight. In this corner, we have the Fantastic Four reboot releasing on July 26th. The movie that a lot of people think will save the MCU, that has an insane amount of pressure considering they absolutely fumbled in the worst way possible the previous reboot. The preview of the suits look awesome. The entire cast is made up of well-known actors, so we gotta believe this movie's gonna be good. Then in this corner, releasing on July 11th, we got Superman, another reboot movie with a lot of pressure. Now, some people are saying this could make or break DC. I don't think that's necessarily the case. I think DC is in the dumps when it comes to movies right now. It can't get any worse, and I likewise don't think it'll save DC. I don't think that if this movie is well received that people will go see the rest of the DC projects. Let's not forget, the Suicide Squad was great and well received. That didn't save DC. DC needs a constant proven track record. So if Superman is good, that's gonna be great, because I want a great Superman story. And considering it's the first movie of the universe, yes, that obviously looks good as well. But based on the reception to the trailer, it broke the record of the Batman teasers, which to me is insane, because I think the Batman teaser is actually a much better trailer. But it was doing insane numbers, so there's clearly going to be a lot of hype for this movie. And I think it looks pretty good. I love all the narrative elements. I don't love the aesthetic, and no, it's not because I don't like color. I just think it does look a little cheap in certain color grading. But honestly, I rewatched that trailer so many times, and the more I rewatch it, the more I like it. But that might be Stockholm Syndrome, so I don't know. Regardless, July is going to be an insane month. It's going to be awesome seeing two possibly amazing Marvel and DC movies together within 2 weeks. And then in August, we also have two possible bangers. We have the Eyes of Wakanda show releasing on August 6th, showing us history in Wakanda's past, which I love good world building and I love good animation. And it looks like the show is gonna do both. Seeing Wakanda in different points of history sounds really cool, not to mention fleshing out its history. And considering the Black Panther has been around for generations, I wanna see some cool Black Panthers. And then in August, we also have the rumored release date of Peacemaker Season 2. We know it's releasing around sometime in the summer, and I'm actually very intrigued for this show because we know literally nothing. But also season 1 of Peacemaker is also a banger. Great writing, great humor, great action, great music, great everything really. Then on September 3rd, we have the start of the Ironheart show. I think that this show is gonna flop. This show has been in Marvel's back pocket for 2 years, I think, at this point, and they keep on delaying it and delaying it and delaying it. But again, I mean, who knows? Ironheart was pretty fun in Black Panther Wakanda Forever. They're gonna introduce the Hood, there's rumors of Mephisto, but I'll hold most of my reservations until we get a first official trailer. But I don't think anyone's gonna fight me in saying that there is not much of any hype for this show. But honestly, who knows? I had zero hype for Agatha, and that show actually really surprised me. Then in October, we got Marvel Zombies, and I honestly don't have high hopes for this show because of What If. I do not like the Marvel Zombie episode. You all are crazy for liking it. I get hate all the time. Quick sidebar, I have gotten hate for the past 3 years for disliking What If. And when season 1 came out, I caught so much fire for it. Then season 2 came out, and people were like, it's not good, but it's not that bad. Now with season 3 out, everyone finally is united in hating this show. I've been on this hill for 3 years, and I'm glad we're all united. I don't know how dark they're actually gonna go with it. And again, basing it on the What If episode, which again is linked to this season, it just didn't nail the storytelling or the darkness. I do like that they're focusing on a lot of the B-lister characters. So yeah, it could be good, but it's also like, I think 4 episodes. And if they're gonna be 22-minute episodes, I really don't have that much high hopes for this. And then ending the year in December, we got the Wonder Man show. And what's interesting is that this show is being pretty original, as in its take on Wonder Man is actually pretty different than the comic version of the character. Where in the comics, he's a sort of billionaire, becomes a sort of superhero actor, where in this it seems that he's actually starting as an actor, just a normal guy, who gets the part of Wonder Man and then seemingly becomes him, which I think sounds really cool. We've gotten like 5 seconds of footage for this show, but I can't really give any of my opinions on it, but I'm actually excited for it. Bringing back Trevor, which is always going to be a delight, and I think the show could potentially be a case where being comic accurate isn't always the right choice. And that's the entire year. Now you will notice DC is not on here a lot. While Marvel has like 9 projects, DC's got 3. But DC is filming 4 banger projects this year. Like all 4 of these, I think are possibly going to be 8 to 10 out of 10 shows or movies. Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow is starting filming very soon, and this movie is going to be awesome, I think and hope, because it is based on the comic of the same name, which is probably one of the best Supergirl comics you'll ever read. And it's about Supergirl coming to terms with what her role is in the universe, sort of coming out of Superman's shadow. It's an awesome story that's so well written, and I love the casting for this movie. Speaking of, Jason Momoa is coming back as Lobo, which fun behind the scenes fact. Lobo isn't in the comic, but Lobo was originally in an early draft of the comic book. But I think it's pretty cool that the movie is gonna do something that the comic wanted to do but couldn't. The Clayface solo movie is also filming this year. Everything we know about this movie sounds awesome. It's a low-budget horror movie written by Matt Flanagan, great horror writer. It's going to focus on Clayface, and the writer was inspired by the Clayface episodes of Batman the Animated Series, some of the best writing for the character. And while this movie could go the Joker route, I think it's going to go the Penguin route, where it's a solo project about a really cool Batman villain, and I don't think it's going to humanize him and try to make you feel sorry for him. I think it's going to be a dark body horror movie, and I think we're going to see the tragic tale of this person we want to root for, who gets twisted by a horrific accident and turns evil. Going on the hero side though, the Lanterns TV show is also filming this year. You're telling me we're getting a Green Lantern show focused on Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart. It's going to be a buddy cop show inspired by True Detective. And you're going to tell me that you're not hyped for that? Because that sounds perfect. The only reservation I have is that they're aging up Hal Jordan, which makes it seem to me that he's not going to be a real big focal point in this universe. Which is sad because I love Hal Jordan. But also, I love Jon Stewart, so I can't be that upset. And Aaron Pierre, I think, is going to make an amazing Jon Stewart. He is so passionate in all the interviews, and I love when actors are actually passionate about superhero projects and aren't ashamed to be in them. So I think this show is going to be awesome. And lastly, the project that's been delayed for years and years and has broken my heart so many times because it's been delayed and it's supposed to have released by now. And the script isn't even done yet. But the Batman. It's finally filming this year. Yeah, the movie was delayed till 2027. And yeah, I'm crushed and dead inside. But it is filming at the end of this year. And again, we don't know anything behind the scenes about this project. There have been rumors about Hush, Mr. Freeze, Scarecrow, Robin, and everything. Honestly, I'm just so excited to go back to the Matt Reeves The Batman universe. Penguin was so good and it is going to hold me over a little bit. But the Batman is one of the best superhero projects, in my opinion, of all time. I love it so much, and I just can't wait to see Robert Pattinson back in the suit. And also that potentially he might be the DCU Batman. It's actually been pretty up in the air recently. Yeah, we got reports that he's not going to be it. Some people say he is going to be it. I want him to be the DCU Batman just because I love the casting of Robert Pattinson Batman, and the writing of the first movie was so good. And do I actually think it'll happen? No, but I'm going to hold on to hope. But yeah, that's the year for superhero projects. And honestly, it beats Madam Web and Craven. So I think this year could be a very interesting one. There are only a handful of projects that I'm actually really excited for, and there are very few projects that I think won't be good. So that's a great thing. Which of these projects are you most excited for this year? And which do you think you'd be most surprised by?